What's going on? So I'm out here just canvassing, making sure the guys did what they supposed to did. Anybody that know me, y'all know who I am, man. I'm the lands man, Chris on the CMG Landscaping Maintenance, where I'm just a whole lot more than the landscaper. Out here at Marta, East Atlanta, y'all know what it is. Y'all tap in with it. Look, so I'm out here in East Atlanta, and what I'm doing, I was going over a few of these documents, right? So I got a few documents from when we first got this contract, and I wanted to show and explain to some of y'all how y'all can do the exact same thing for real. Anybody with an existing LLC, what's up, Micaiah? Yes, sir. I would if it you should subscribe if you want to learn how to work with your local, state, or federal government agencies. Yes, I would surely suggest it. I'm actually going through what's fun videos. Shout out me. I'm actually going over some paperwork or RFQ from back in April, right? And I want to kind of explain this to some of you guys. It's a quotation form, and basically it's just making sure that you in compliance. Um, and show the underwriters, the undersigners, and things like that, right? So with that being said, anybody with an existing LLC or EIN, LLC and EIN can do the exact same thing that I'm doing. I'm out here right now on the project that I got a couple years back. So they just actually had a newer one pop up, and I got that too. So everybody was bidding like crazy numbers on this project, right? So let me show you something. So when we first got this, and I think the numbers gonna be backwards. Can you see that? You see that? I appreciate it. The numbers probably backwards, but when we first got this project, they wanted to see, things like your profit and loss statements, your tax forms, and that's why I stressed to a bunch of people, a bunch of small businesses, right? I know a lot of people tell y'all to like try to hide the money, right? You don't want to hide the money. You want to show the money no matter how much was made, right? If it's a little bit or if it's a lot, you want to show the money, because what that does, y'all, when you're not showing the money, it prevents you from, like, even if you're a small business, you got to think about the longevity aspect of it. You can't think about only for that day, that year, that month. You got to think about the longevity. So I've been in landscape now for a decade, 10 years. And what I show a lot of people, y'all, you really don't need experience to run a successful landscape company. You don't have to do the work yourself if you properly structure your company, your entity, and format it in a way where you can work for the local, state, or federal government. You don't have to know how to do the work. You know what I mean? You still gonna make good money. I appreciate it, Micaiah. Thanks. Rhea, thank you, Maria. Yeah, I've been doing this for quite a while now, right? And a lot of people always ask me, how do you keep so many workers? How do you do this? How do you do that? So it's always a method to anything that you're doing. You got to have a strategy. Why would I recommend landscape to any aspiring entrepreneur? Because you got to think about this. There is not a city, a state, nor county that doesn't require landscaping. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Like, landscaping is needed all over the world, in every city, every state, right? In America, you need to have a landscaper. Now think about this. Think about this. You somebody that got a 9 to 5 job, maybe. And I'm not asking, this is a scenario. Say for instance, you got a 9 to 5 job and you go to work every day, all day. Do you got the full understanding of that? You helping build somebody else's legacy that really ain't gonna do you no good, right? It'll do you some good for the week. It may do you some good for the month. But overall, you're not gonna be able to feed your kids from working for somebody else. You ain't gonna be able to do it. If you want real generational wealth, if you want to create something that's gonna feed your kids, why not create a landscape company? Why not start a landscape company? And why not learn from somebody like me that's been in the game for a decade? Y'all, I got crews running around right now. Where y'all see me at? Where it look like I'm at? Do it look like I'm on a lawnmower? Do it look like I'm swinging a weed eater? Do it look like I'm in a tree with a chainsaw? Do it? Right. So what does that tell you? That tell you that obviously I've been in the game long enough to be able to help you start, grow, and scale your own, where you can sit in the truck and start creating generational wealth. See, guys, not only does this company feed my kids, it feed my employees' kids. You know what I mean? And that's not that's a reality check. It's a way to open some of y'all mind on. Because a lot of people say they want to be a business owner, but they don't know what business they want to start. Start a landscape company. Start a landscape company. And on top of that, guys, there's ways to leverage other people's cash while you doing it, right? So not only can I show you how to start, grow, and scale your own service or product-based business, preferably a landscape company, but I can also show you how to build a profile where you can walk into the credit unions and these banks and leverage other people's money. You'll be able to leverage your business credit and turn it into cash. I've been in this thing for a decade. Why wouldn't I know that? Why wouldn't I know how to leverage credit? I would. You know why? Because I always leverage mines, right? I always need a new PC equipment. I always need a new truck. I always need a new vehicle. I always need something. When you go in business and you make it past that 2-year mark, you're going to need a lot of something. And you're going to need business credit with a strong enough profile to help you be able to leverage other people's cash, right? So with that being said, it just makes more sense to start a landscape company. And that's what I do, guys. I show you guys how to do it. I show you how to start, grow, and scale. Period. You know what I mean? But back to what I was saying. Another thing that I've started doing. So how many people in here? Type of one in here if you know what a serial entrepreneur is. Type of one in the live, in the chat. You know what a serial entrepreneur is? Type of one in here if you know what a serial entrepreneur is. Type of one. All right. So that's basically what I do. So Micaiah, a serial entrepreneur is nothing but besides me saying I have multiple businesses. You know how that Micaiah said I might be one. So you know how you got different boxes of cereal, right? It ain't just you got Captain Crunch, you got Frosted Flakes, you got Sugar Smacks, you got Fruit Loops. It's different. It's different flavors and it's different cereals, but they all still one cereal, right? So being a serial entrepreneur means you still an entrepreneur, you just do all different flavors. So let me explain something to y'all with this. I done got into digital marketing so I could reach the people outside of the state of Georgia. So I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, right? But I get a lot of DMs, I get a lot of texts, I get a lot of people needing information. I get a lot of people, look, I get a lot of people wanting to make that kind of money, which I'm sure is backwards. I get a lot of people wanting to make that kind of money. Let me explain something. It's not as hard as you may think. Before I made my first million, I used to think $1 million was something. And $1 million is a lot if you don't do what I done, right? If you don't start your business the way I started mine, yeah, it's backwards. If you don't start your business with 10, 15, 25 workers, then $1 million will get you through. Because we all understand, in order to house 15 to 20 workers, the overhead is going to be tremendous. The overhead is going to take you almost out the game. So that was the whole reason I even started coaching y'all, so I could show you how to alleviate that. Y'all gonna bypass all that, right? So I got a saying, if you got a coach if your coach ain't got no coach, hold on. If your coach don't got no coach and your coach's coach ain't coaching on the importance of being coached, you might be being coached by the wrong coach. Y'all like that? If your coach ain't got no coach and your coach's coach ain't coaching on the importance of being coached, you might be being coached by the wrong coach. In other words, that means everybody that want to start growing scale, whatever industry you in, whether it's service or product based, you need a coach. You need a mentor. You need somebody who done what you're trying to do, can help you bypass all the loops and all the turns and get you straight to your destination. If I had a coach, guys, well, I do got a coach now, but I don't have a landscape coach. I have a digital marketing coach. I have a business strategist coach, right? And they have helped me catapult to places and areas that I never thought I'd be able to experience. But I never would have got the information if I would have never invested in myself. If I would have never believed that I needed one, then I would still be somewhere learning the obstacles that your coach already been through that they can help you bypass it. Thank you, Micaiah. Shout out. Y'all understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying. And I know I've been gone for a minute on YouTube. Y'all, that's because I've been on other platforms. And I just been on other platforms trying to inform the people, trying to, everybody in this thing where everybody trying to do the same thing. Everybody's bypassing. everybody's bypassing the fact that landscaping is a recession-proof industry. Landscaping is a recession-proof industry. And then you got somebody that shows you how, that teaches you how to not need a lawnmower, not need a brick and mortar building, not need a truck, but you can still make multiple thousands and thousands of dollars. And everybody's still trying to be a rapper, or, you know what I mean? Trying to do what the masses is doing. It makes no sense. Makes no sense. Micaiah, where you from? Shout out Micaiah, where you from? Where you from, Micaiah? Jacobs. Jacobs, where you from? United States. Okay. So look, y'all, yeah. Anybody got any questions? Any questions you may need to know? Anybody got any questions? Any question? Look, y'all. This is what I'm on. Anybody got any questions? All right, my guy's calling. I'll jump back on her in a second, y'all.